Hello there. Welcome to Live at Lotown. We are back. It's the August 19, 2021 edition. My name is Lenny Mink.
And I'm Tara.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you, Lenny.
You know, my first question of the night, like we did last time, has to be, what's in your cup? Anything good in your cup tonight?
There is something brown in my cup tonight.
Oh, let me take a little.
Was that?
That's pretty nice. I like that. I'm keeping it a little safer this evening. Just plain water.
Well, it says Woodstock.
It says Woodstock.
So
water,
that could be anything.
maybe with some LSD in it. We'll find out later. I'm not
we'll
sure.
see. Hopefully.
So,
Fun show.
So good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Yeah, we have a different kind of show tonight, kind of a bridge, but a special edition.
A very special edition tonight.
And it's all about the Missouri History Museum exhibit that is about to open up for the next 16 months. And we have it's a wonderful exhibit about St. Louis music and art. And
that exhibit is actually called the St. Louis Sound, opening August 28th. And we have a couple of wonderful special guests tonight who are actually going to be featured in a special edition about hip-hop in St. Louis. So
that's right. And both of we have a dance group tonight,
we do.
And also a well-known radio DJ and personality, both of which are actually featured in the Missouri History Museum exhibit. And so we're looking forward to getting to know them a little bit, and we're going to talk to them. We're going to talk about some more historical things, and, of course, we're going to play This Day in Music History. That's a fun game.
And we're going to learn a lot of fun stuff because we always do or we learn creepy stuff sometimes.
Fun and creepy, which is like fun squared.
Yeah, you got to throw in the creeps,
So we're going to probably hear from one of our sponsors here in just a moment, and then we'll come back. And we will have some performances on this show as well that were actually done at our other studio, but they're fantastic, and so we'll talk about those as well here in just a minute. You ready?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. We're going to cut to one of our sponsors. Thanks.
What's up, broski?
You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Good afternoon, Mr. Crouch.
Great shot, Mr. Crouch.
It's a golf thing.
All right, we're back at Live at Lotown. Coming up next, a musical performance from one of our good friends, Two Cities, One World. Check him out.
Floating around, my attention is on me.
Thank you. Two cities, one world. Welcome back to Live at Lotown. Please welcome our first guest of the evening, GWIZ.
Liz. Nice to meet you.
Hello.
All right. GWIZ. G.
Are you mic'd up there?
Yes, I am.
Good. Is it turned on? You got it on and everything?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, welcome. Welcome to the show. Welcome to
to the show,
Live
sir.
at Lotown.
Thank you for having me. What's up?
What's up? Yeah, what is up, actually? Yeah, so first of all, I got to say, and I noticed earlier, you got your own swag on, DJ GWIZ and the hat, and I am jealous. I'm jealous because we need some Lotown swag, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty fly.
That stuff is pretty fly.
Pretty
Looks
fly.
really good.
I think you'd be more flyer with some GWIZ logo on.
Maybe I need some GWIZ stuff.
that's-
You should bring some
Yeah.
GWIZ stuff
Yeah.
for us next time. That's a good call. That's
So
a good call.
speaking of GWIZ, I have a few notes here. We wanted to welcome you to come in and talk about just. First of all, you're being featured at the exhibit coming up on August that opens August 28th at the
That's
Missouri
amazing.
History Museum, the St. Louis Sound. And we just want to talk to you about what the road was that led you to being featured at this exhibit as GWIZ, as someone with deep history here in St. Louis. We want to go back a little bit.
Go back a little bit. Yeah. Why are you in this incredible historical exhibit?
Well, it comes from me doing a documentary on the history of St. Louis and East St. Louis hip hop from 1979 to 1995. And with the exhibit being about St. Louis music history, one of the features in the film is really based on the culture of hip hop in the city. So music, hip hop, that's why they asked me to be a part of it. With my film, I showed my film, it debuted at the St. Louis, Missouri History Museum. And that's how we
it did
made that
debut
connection.
there.
Yes.
Okay.
You were there for the beginning of this hip hop movement, at least in this region.
I was there when hip hop first came because I am a baby boomer.
Baby boomer.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. So
yeah. So
yes,
you were like
when,
that was like the moment when it was happening. You were just like it was all you were in the mix. You
Yeah,
were
I
there,
was I was out of high school when
That's amazing.
hip hop came out. Yeah.
And so, have you been a DJ since the late '70s? Is that when you first
Yes.
started?
78.
And
Yes.
you're still a DJ.
Still a
you're on the
DJ.
air.
Yes.
Okay. Tell people where.
You can catch me every Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on 88.1 KDHX.
the great KDHX, right?
That's right. I am the time
Awesome.
traveler, GWIZ.
Hey,
Okay.
I've totally heard
My
your
other
show.
alter ego, I am the God Pops of hip hop.
The God Pops of hip hop.
All
God
right.
Pops of hip hop. All right.
Nice.
Speaking of God Pops of hip hop, I like that title. I did read that you were the first to air the Rapper's Delight on an airwave in East St. Louis. Is there credibility to that statement? Is that true?
That's credibly false.
That's false.
Oh,
Yes.
shabam.
Wow.
Yes.
That's why you have to
Rumors
ask.
are not
That's
true.
way.
You're not the
Whoever
first.
told you that need their head off.
Okay. Okay.
That's how false it is. That's
Yeah,
super
that's
false.
that's super false. I'm not, by all means. When that song came out, I was 18 years old,
Oh,
Okay.
okay. So you
And,
weren't quite
so
just
there
like-
yet.
and I really don't
Okay.
even want to say who the person was
Uh-huh.
because it messes with my film.
Oh.
Okay. So it was just
Okay,
kind
good
of
to
maybe
know.
like a mixed. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so the answer
Well,
to that is in my
Okay.
film.
Scratch that. Let's
We don't
get
talk
back to
about the
your film.
competition,
The
Tara. We don't
film.
talk about
We're gonna scratch that. Getting back to the film. The film is entitled "Background Check, Volume 1: The Story of St. Louis and East St. Louis Hip Hop, 1979 to 1995." Correct?
Correct.
That is correct. Okay. Volume 1.
Yes.
Volume 1.
Yes.
So,
Volume 1 of 3.
Okay, but is this is the film that's going to be a part of the exhibit?
No, this
This
film.
is the first film that you made earlier.
This is one of my films,
Gotcha.
but this film will not be in the exhibit.
Mhm.
Parts of the film of the culture of hip hop
Mhm.
will be in the exhibit,
Very cool.
which is dance for
Mhm.
one,
Yeah.
and that's the Rocket Dancers,
Yes.
which
Yeah.
are featured in the film.
And are joining us today for the
Correct.
show. Yeah.
By the way, yeah,
So when did you make your first film?
I made my first film in 2009.
2009.
Yes,
And then you have a new film now.
that's Background Check.
And it's Background Check.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's the history of St. Louis and East St. Louis hip hop. The MCs, the DJs, the culture, the clothing, the music artists that came out of St. Louis, the record labels, that whole vibe of of the city turning its back or its nose up when you mention the word rap. Where establishments, if you said you want to do a function and they ask you what kind of music, if you said anything that got to do with rap, no.
Right. Automatic. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now it's a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Do you think it's changed though? Is it different now
in this city?
in this city?
Oh, it's a lot different than it was, but across the world it's even bigger.
Is that the Nelly factor to some extent?
In this city,
Mhm.
no,
Not so much.
no, it
It's
was
just-
before.
It's just.
It was before that.
It's before that.
Yes.
Yeah.
This culture started way before that.
Now I understand that you have brought a video clip from the new film for us
Yes.
as well.
Uh-huh.
Tell us what we're going to see in this clip.
It's the trailer of Background Check.
Okay, so it's actually the trailer.
Yes.
Okay, great. So Background Check, and that's film is 2021 film.
2019.
2019. Okay,
Yes.
sounds good. So pretty fresh.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
okay.
fresh.
All right, so we're gonna see a trailer for Background Check.
Mhm.
Okay, and we'll be right back after this trailer.
Yeah. Good evening, St. Louis.
St. Louis in the building.
I'd like to welcome y'all to St. Louis Hip Hop 101. We got a lot of history.
It's good to see you again, man. We missed you, but we have to talk about this.
We put together something, a legacy that right here in St. Louis that just opened the door for all kind of stuff.
But he just had a following. I said, no, I'm not fighting you joining us.
When you hear that voice, Dr. Jockenstein, it's time for roll call. 969-1000. You just dial that number.
I'm like, oh man, I'm on. I ain't say nothing. They hung up on me.
I didn't ever get through, which is good. You hear a clicking. Somebody clicking in on the line trying to get through on your three-way, or was it a two-way at the time?
And this is your uncle who may have heard something. He had a rhyme in his head. He just calls it up because he want to say it.
What's your name? I said, it's the mighty TC.
5 seconds. I'm gonna click you off. And so whether you were good or not, there it went.
You know, you felt like you could see them even though they were on the radio.
I was on a mission to meet Godfather because I don't think we knew each other yet.
We came out, and it was that moment that told me, in our rarest form, we performed with no music
At all.
Instead of getting a real nice funky lock on it, people, do this and shit, when it's like that, it's the moves are locked,
I was minding my own business, doing my show at WESL Radio back in the day. I wish I could remember what year it was.
I'm the G-O-D, the F-A-T, the rest is H-E-R.
He had the city on lock. You know, you go anywhere north, if you wasn't talking about P-Funk, you ain't had nothing coming.
I couldn't really battle with too many people because we're the ones throwing the party.
MC Shirley Pearl on school roll call.
It had something with Colonel in it, but he used to be on roll call all the time. I used to be like, this dude hot.
You know, we used to battle all the time, but I just loved his style. He was one of my favorite rappers.
I was stealing his rhymes every day. Every day I was stealing his rhymes.
You become a product of your environment. Well, hell, I grew up in Cabinet Courts. And anybody knows St. Louis, knowing back in the 70s, Cabinet Courts was one of the worst places in the country to live.
They were really looked upon as like celebrities.
So I called Angelo and we set up an interview and they wanted to meet me. And they had maybe about 25 or 30 people just to judge me to make sure I was good enough to get in the group at the time.
You had the Golden Boys, you had Godfather and company.
I do know who played Rapper's Delight first.
My dad, Dr. Jockenstein, was the first.
Oh, no, let me think. What? Yeah.
Hey. Damn.
Good evening, St. Louis. St. Louis in the building. I'd like to welcome y'all to St. Louis Hip Hop 101.
Okay, that was a very cool trailer for the film Background Check. Thank you for joining us today. GWIZ, I love it. And I think Tara had another question. Tara?
Okay, so yeah, I'm just interested in the as a DJ today in 2021, what are you playing, and do you still have the same enthusiasm about new hip hop today as you once did?
Why did you want to ask me that?
Because you know.
Okay.
Is it obvious?
What I play on my show,
yes,
or when I'm out doing a gig or whatever, I stay in my own lane.
Okay.
So that 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s is my specialty. Mm-hmm. I do that on the radio, but I also do currents if I like it. It's not much that I like today, because I have a certain type of soul. Today's hip hop for me, I take it maybe 1-2%, because it's not for me.
Doesn't do it for you.
It's not for me.
Yeah,
it's not my genre of music.
Doesn't speak
group.
to you the way.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not for me. So I don't knock it.
Yeah.
I just don't touch it. It's hot.
Okay.
It's
hot.
That's justifiable. Okay.
And let's tell the people one more time where they can hear your show.
You can hear me every Saturday night from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m.
That's cool.
GWIZ on 88.1 KDHX. Traveling at the speed of sound.
Very cool.
And I am the time traveler.
Time traveler. Speaking of time traveling, we like to play a game here that we call This Day in Music History. So you want to play it with us?
I'll play.
Okay.
What I'm going to win? A car? House? What?
We'll see.
Nice applause.
Nice applause from the studio crew here.
Yes.
Okay, so let's pick a decade. Give me a decade.
70s.
70s. Okay. Today is the 19th of August, right? August 19th. Let's go to the 70s. In let me see here. In 1972, David Bowie played the first of 2 nights at the Rainbow Theatre in England on his current 182-date Ziggy Stardust World Tour. David Bowie. Interesting thing about David Bowie, I want to throw something here. Luther Vandross was his backup singer at one point. Isn't that interesting? Most people don't know that. Are you a David Bowie fan?
What's the question?
Not really a question. We're just a discussion.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You like David Bowie?
I know David.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You ever play any David Bowie on your show?
Fame, Golden Years.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I know Dave.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Were you into him back then in this early
Fame,
period,
Golden Years.
Yeah, that's right. Then.
He was on Soul Train.
He was on Soul Train.
We talk about Soul Train a lot here.
Yeah, Soul Train always seems to come up. That's
Soul
true.
Train comes up
a
lot.
How about something from the 80s? You want to go to the 80s?
Come on.
Let's go to the 80s.
Bring it.
Okay.
I ain't scared.
How about, I got to go to 96. 1996, James Brown appeared in Montauk, New Jersey as part of his Back at the Ranch tour. Now, Brown had a history of issues with his wife, and he offered money that was raised at the event to an anti-violence organization called The Retreat, and they turned him down. So that's the news from August 19th, 1996. They said he wanted to support a group that was raising money to combat violence against women, and they said no. They said we don't want your money. So there you go. Anyway, sorry James Brown. Sorry, Ghost of James Brown.
He was probably that was during a time where he probably needed to clean up his image a little bit.
Big
I imagine.
time. 96 was right about then, I believe. Yeah. Any comment on that, GWIZ?
Not on James. James is. I separate the person from the art.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You know.
Hallowed ground.
Yeah, I mean
James Brown. Yeah.
It's James Brown. I mean,
James Brown.
nothing would stink without James Brown.
Hip hop wouldn't even exist
Funk
without that man.
I agree. On that note, it's been lovely to meet you, and congratulations on your film and everything you have going with the History Museum. And we'd love to have you back sometime.
Thank you. Where's my car?
It's waiting for you outside.
Oh yeah, it's
okay.
Slim. Go get that car for the
car. All right. Thanks. Okay,
Thank
everybody. We're gonna go ahead and hear from our sponsors one more time, but it was really lovely. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Live at Lotown. Thank you to our wonderful sponsors. Welcome now in the studio, the fabulous Rocket Dancers.
Rocket Dancers.
Right. Rocket Dancers.
Yeah, right.
Thank you.
The Rocket Dancers, and you guys. I'm cheating here. I have a little bit of a note. First of all, congratulations on being part of the Missouri History Museum exhibit.
Thank you.
St. Louis Sound. That is super, super cool. My first question was, if I can, is, well, besides we want to hear the history, of course, of the dance group, but, why the Rocket Dancers? My understanding is there's no other dance group being featured in this exhibit. You guys must have been like the you-know-what, like the super-duper, the tippity top,
Couldn't
right?
Couldn't say it any better.
Okay, just answered my own question. All right, well, that's dumb. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so you said they used to be. Now that can take me back. I want to know what era we're talking about. Rocket Dancers. When were the Rocket Dancers? When was the last performance? Just give me the era.
Question.
Give me the era.
The last performance.
The last performance. It might have been the Mildred E. Bastion Performing Arts Center, maybe?
No.
When we were? No?
The last performance was when we made the film.
We made it to the
GWIZ.
90s.
That was the last.
That's a stretch, my brother.
Hey, that counts.
That was in the 90s? Okay.
No, that was just last year.
Oh, did you put a couple of moves in that film?
Yeah,
Actually, we did
that's
background
right.
check,
Yeah.
volume
Just
1.
go ahead. You guys seem like a lot of fun.
Background check, volume 1.
Everybody's got a microphone. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Yeah, let's who's who here? All right.
My name is Clarence Jones, Elder Clarence Jones.
Elder Clarence.
And I'm the MC.
And personal manager.
And the manager.
You're the MC and the manager.
Yes, I did all the talking and collecting.
Yeah.
These are the Super Rockets.
These are the Super Rockets.
Transportation, whatever needed to be done.
Okay.
I was in charge.
All right, next.
Angelo Sugar Boogie Garrett.
Sugar Boogie.
Steve Scooby-Doo Jackson.
Sugar Boogie. Scooby-Doo.
And Maurice Snoopy Falls.
Snoopy Falls.
There's a theme here.
Yeah, the members who are not here is Bad Bruce Peanut Robinson, who was in Texas.
Peanut.
Tony Casper Gooden.
Casper.
Yes.
Okay.
With a K. With a K.
Casper with a K. Okay.
Larry Locke Borders.
Locke.
And in spirit, our beloved brother.
Yes.
Triandis
And David
Sherrod.
David Robot
And
Jackson.
also my man, David Robot Jackson. That
Wow.
rounds it out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that you guys had the coolest nicknames of any dance group in St. Louis of all time. Probably. No
And
question
it
about it.
sounds
Yeah. I mean,
sounds
seriously.
like it's about 8 of you. Like, is that right?
No.
How many is that?
The history of it would have been 7.
About 7. So it was
Okay.
a fairly large group
We never performed
all together.
How many
Okay.
people were
Some
generally at a
transitioning periods.
How many did you generally have at a performance?
6.
6 people.
6.
Okay.
And an MC.
6 plus MC.
MC.
Okay.
Okay.
And you're sorry. You were performing, or you're more.
No, I would just come out.
You're the muscle.
And introduce them, hype it up.
Yeah.
Play the music. Sometime I had to pick up the record would be so short I had to pick up the needle and drop it back.
Oh wow, that's funny.
So they could keep dancing.
Keep the people hyped up, and I mean it was just, we
So
were
you were
just
kind of the
having fun.
engineer behind the whole the scene of it.
And management, right? And management.
Yes.
You do whatever it takes. You do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about Clarence. In the documentary that G talked about earlier.
Yep.
In that documentary, G recognizes something called the needle drop.
The needle drop, yes.
The needle drop.
Of course.
Well, Clarence Crow Jones
had no idea what I was doing.
in the 70s
Right.
was needle dropping before needle dropping.
Before it was
needle
even a
dropping.
thing. It was even a thing.
And this
That's
brother,
so funny.
he can
That's
lift
funny.
that needle up and put it back at a place where we didn't miss a beat.
That's incredible. Right
I
in the
mean,
middle.
you know,
That's super
skill,
cool.
right?
Pure skill.
That's
So what?
Pure skill.
What kind of events? Like where would you perform? You know, just like all kinds of things.
Guys,
We've been to Memphis, Tennessee to do the Hearst show. We would do all the local venues, skating rings,
Skating
high
rings.
school events.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, back in the day there
We
were
opened
skating
for a
rings.
lot of concerts.
Yes.
You opened for a lot of
artists.
concerts.
Actually, we opened for Change, which was a part of Luther Vandross.
Mhm.
Those groups. We opened for Change, which was a part of Luther Vandross's.
Oh
first
yeah,
groups.
yeah.
You know, this was at the Ville Auditorium when it was one of the first
Just opened,
auditoriums.
yeah.
The Kiel Auditorium, right?
Ville Auditorium.
Ville
Pine
Auditorium.
Ville Auditorium.
I did,
Wow, Ville
we did
Auditorium.
the Kiel Auditorium one time with
We
the
did.
Barcades.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, where y'all bum rushed
Yep.
the stage.
Yeah.
Oh, so you weren't welcome. You just said, "Let me show
No,
y'all what we
was,
got."
it was it was going to be a part of a show, you know, and then so if the show hit, you know, it's on. If you let one rocket on the stage, that's it.
Then it's over.
Because it's going to happen.
That's
and
funny.
It's going to happen real well.
How
too.
did this start? Like, so you guys were all just friends in high school or middle school when you all first started to get together to dance?
When we first started, Maurice, myself, and David Jackson was a group, and Steve, Larry Locke, and Casper was a group, and Steve and Maurice hooked up and trade concepts and ideas, and we kind of merged.
Right.
We merged after that.
So it was like two groups merging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the name the
Dance
Rockets.
group.
So
But we all went to Sodan.
We all went to
all
Soul
went to
Dance.
Soul Dance. So you knew each other
I
from
went
school.
to Soul
Okay.
Dance for a little minute. I didn't graduate. I'm not
No,
alumni.
you're
but-
Tigers in you.
That's
you
right.
got Tiger
You went there.
blood.
If you walk the halls, you're Tiger.
Okay. Okay.
So what is it? How does it feel? And how did this all come about? And how does it feel to be memorialized in this? If that's the right word. You know, basically, Missouri history exhibit. This is a big deal.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. You know something?
Unbelievable.
I think Maurice and I have said this in the years. Years ago, man, when we first started dancing, it's 6 of us. We would dance on a spot about the size of that carpet,
Right.
in little bitty in taverns.
Right.
Right. We went from that to the stages of the Kiel Auditorium.
Yeah.
We went from that to the stages of opening up the convention center. Remember, in 1978 maybe, when the convention center first opened up.
Oh, you guys played the opening of the convention center.
7 days. We did 14 shows. We did two shows for 7 days in a row.
For 7 days. That's
7 days.
amazing.
We were the only dance group other than the group called the Peace Disturbance. But
Gotcha.
we had a run.
Yeah, that's a serious run.
We had a run, man. That was
That's
outstanding.
amazing. How did you find out that this was going to happen? That the history, that the exhibit was going to include you guys.
Well, Maurice can address that
Well,
one.
it was when we were part of the GWIZ's documentary Background Check Volume 1. When he was it was still in his head, he invited us to do an interview, you know, because he grew up as a fan, you know, and it's so appreciated because he's such a great guy, man. GWIZ is the dude. And so we're all like, well, when you gonna do the documentary? Was we were trying to see it, and it was about 2 years after he finished it, and so he had a premiere, and when he had the premiere, we were like, whoa, and it was at the History Museum, and so they were setting up to do the history of music for the city, and so that documentary represented hip hop, which is a part of the exhibit. And we're the opening part because of what we brought to the table as far as the record drop, and then what we were doing as a group with the dance, and it led into all of this, where you see the dancers for the groups on tour.
Right.
Like
this is like, you
we were
guys
kind
are
of like started the front end of that.
For sure.
We danced we opened up the shows, and then I actually danced in the Cool Jazz Festival with the Brothers Johnson on that massive stage at the
stadium.
And so, and all of that, next thing you know, they got the Gap band has Baby Gap on stage with them, and then so now we're all the way up to Bruno Mars, Babyface, Charlie Wilson. All of them having
now it's like if you go out,
show.
especially in pop or in certain style of music, you go out without dancers, like that's just not going to happen. It's like you have to have a dance group with you on show during the show.
We brought it. We could bring it.
That's so interesting.
We could entertain. We were entertainers. We were greater than dancers.
Yeah. Not only did we dance, Angelo and Snoop and Maurice were great at bringing special effects.
Special effects.
We were doing special effects.
Oh, cool.
Like what? What did y'all have for special effects to those routines?
We had illusions.
We had illusions. We were the first to kind of have the bombs on stage too.
Okay, like fire, smoking,
pyrotechnics. That's what they used to make fuses and put gunpowder.
Right. Old school.
That's amazing. Wow.
We blew up a few stages.
Well, as I understand, St. Louis has some deep dance roots.
It does,
right? I mean, what are some like global or worldwide names that we would have known from St. Louis that were sort of dance?
Catherine Dunham.
Catherine Dunham. I mean, that's a major.
When you go to Catherine Dunham, and I forgot my Banana Girl too. But Catherine Dunham is outstanding as far as bringing the world dance to St.
Correct.
Louis.
Yes. Correct.
She brought the world to St. Louis.
Correct.
And she showed the world the different cultures of all dances from
Right.
wherever she traveled.
And then we had to rerun Fred Berry.
And then that's where we come
that's
from.
The name of
We
it.
come from Fred Berry.
And the incredible Don Campbell.
They're the lock.
The one
Our dance form is called locking.
Yeah.
And that's a certain kind of style, I guess.
Correct.
Yeah.
So we was in this nightclub. And somebody took us around. So just a club. And this one guy was I don't know if I remember, this guy was dancing on the dance floor, and he thought he was doing something right. And we looked at Steve, we say, go get him, Steve.
Yeah, right.
We say, go get him, Steve. He say, all right, boy, he went out there, boy. Now we in town to perform at this it was
beauty pageant.
It was a beauty convention
A hair
convention sponsored by Sammy Davis Jr.'s wife.
Amazing.
Wow. And we were there to perform there, but we went out into the community, right? And we was in that club. It was so funny.
Always
the guy was like, and this guy, he out there dancing, this, that, and the other. We said, go get him, Steve. Steve went out there, boy.
You lit him up.
And then we left.
The guy was crawling out. He was crawling
cool.
on his way out when you were done with him.
That was cool. Yes.
How's that?
Oh man,
that's
my
so
bad.
Cool. So what? So this exhibit, I just want to touch on that too. The exhibit opens when?
August 28th.
August 28th. That's coming up here in just a couple of days. But it's going to be out. It's going to be at the Missouri History Museum for 16 months, I believe.
Yes.
16 months. So everyone should go check that out.
Yes.
Definitely go check that out.
Before we finish, I wanted to get a chance to expand on the culture and the art of what we actually are and why we're even in there, which is that Fred Berry aspect of dancers from St. Louis and Don Camelot. I think you should really...
Fred Berry. So tell us a little bit about Fred Berry and the connection.
Well, Fred Berry, he was like, we all were a dance group together. Fred went to California to do the show What's Happening.
What's happening?
Yeah, Rerun, as he got the name Rerun.
St. Louis guy.
Yeah, right.
Love that show so much.
So, yep, and but we were all like a group together, and So when he went to Cali, we kept it here, and they used our name on the show, on What's Happening, the Rockets. Did you ever see that show, that episode?
Love the show, yeah.
Did you see the show when he danced with the Rockets on What's Happening?
I did not even realize. That is incredible.
Okay.
So that's where that came from.
Yes.
That is super cool. Yeah, and it really is, like you said, you guys, it's almost like a time capsule.
Right. Yes,
you know, and that's the nature of art and dance and music, is that it's always kind of a time capsule, you know.
Yeah.
It continues to evolve. You build on the previous, you know.
Before cell phones.
Before cell phones.
It was even before the
VHS.
flip phone.
VHS camera, yeah.
VHS
Right.
and the
yeah.
camera. It was even before then.
Right.
Well,
And
we're fortunate to have the footage of some footage, you know.
Right.
So yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? Pretty cool.
Well, I just think it's really cool. I feel honored to be in your presence. Really, I mean, I remember I was really young during what I would consider the height of the hip hop dance era, where we talked about a little bit off camera just how the fun spirited competitive nature of it, and how that's just kind of gone from today.
Yes.
Really cool to see a dance group being honored for what they've contributed to our culture.
Yeah. Thank you.
And we're going to be at the opening. I think we're gonna spread the word, get all of our crew and team to try to come out to that. And
outstanding.
And so it has truly been a privilege to meet you, and keep dancing, right?
Keep
Never stop dancing.
Keep on
Never
dancing.
Stop dancing.
August
So.
28th.
Right.
August
As a
28th.
matter of fact, we're going to open with Murphy Lee. Comes on at like
Cool.
3:45. He's doing the ribbon cutting at 10 o'clock that morning.
Murphy Lee of the St. Lunatics?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Right, good.
What the hook gonna be?
Right. Right.
You got that one.
Right.
And
And KDHX with Wiz, and
they
then
go from 5 until 9.
5 till
So
9.
that's
Okay.
how the day
So
is.
you guys, you'll be there, of course, and everybody's gonna
Yeah,
be
we'll
all
be
right.
there.
Awesome.
With your dance shoes on.
With our dance shoes on.
Sounds good. So the Rocket Dancers, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for
today.
having
Thank you.
us.
It's been a terrific show. It's been a very, very special edition, right, Tara?
Very special edition.
And we're gonna also sprinkle some more footage here at the end for the credits or whatever we're gonna do here, and we will be back in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
On every other Thursday. So that's pretty much it for us here live at Lotown. And
Thank
we
you
will
to our
see
guests.
Thank you to all of our guests, and we'll see
Thank you to our sponsors.
Yes, give it up. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Bye bye.